Oh, hello there, and thanks for joining Uncomplicated Math today. Today we're going to be looking at how to multiply decimals, and by the end of this video you'll know the steps involved when multiplying a decimal by another decimal. So let's get started. So in question number 1, we're being asked to multiply the decimals 1 and 34 hundredths times 7 tenths. So looking over to the steps involved here on our right hand side, we can see that our first step is to multiply without decimals. So we're going to rewrite this problem down below as if there are no decimals in place. So we're going to multiply 134 times 7. So now we can multiply. When we multiply 7 times 4, we get 28. So we're going to write the 8, carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 gives us 23. So we'll write the 3 and carry the 2. And lastly, 7 times 1 gives us 7, plus 2 gives us 9, for 938. So now we can move on to step number 2, which is to add the decimals back into our answer. And in order to determine where the decimal is going to be located in our answer, we need to look up top here and see how many digits we have to the right of our decimal place in the equation above, because we need to have the same number of digits to the right of our decimal place in our answer. So we can see here in our first decimal that we have 1 digit and 2 digits to the right of our decimal place. And for our second decimal, we have another digit to the right of our decimal place, giving us 3 digits to the right of our decimal place. So we need to do the same thing in our answer here. So we're going to place our decimal to the far left because now we have 3 digits to the right of our decimal place. So when we multiply 1 and 34 hundredths times 7 tenths, we get 938 thousandths. So now we can move on to question number 2, where we're being asked to multiply the decimal 2 and 6 tenths times 4 tenths. So remembering our first step is to multiply without decimals, so we're going to rewrite this problem down below as 26 times 4. And when we multiply 4 times 6, we get 24, so we're going to write the 4 and carry the 2. And when we multiply 4 times 2, we get 8, plus 2 gives us 10, for 104. So now we need to move on to step number 2, where we're going to add our decimals back into our answer. And we can see here in our first decimal, we had 1 digit to the right of our decimal place. And in our second decimal, we had another digit to the right of our decimal place. So our answer needs to have 2 digits to the right of our decimal place. So our decimal place is going to lie between our 1 and our 0 here. So when we multiply 2 and 6 tenths by 4 tenths, we get 1 and 4 hundredths. So hopefully by now you understand the steps involved when multiplying a decimal by a decimal. Help make math less complicated by smashing those like and subscribe buttons. As always, enjoy today's math journey.